Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, Legit Boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a rating, review, or a comment.
Please.
It really, really does help.
It really does.
Boost the exposure.
Totally.
Of Going In Raw. Let's get right to it, Larson. Dean Ambrose is quitting the WWE. Oh, my goodness.
Didn't I predict this? And I said there's going to be someone who's unhappy with their creative, can't be bought off, they're leaving. Of course, the second part of that was like they're going to AEW, which remains to be seen. But
well, we'll talk about that in a second.
This is from Pro Wrestling Torch.
Power rank where he should be going.
Pro Wrestling Torch. I woke up to this news. I just woke up and there was like my Twitter mentions were just
yeah, man,
with mentions, and I scrolled down the very bottom of it. I was like, oh, Steve posted this. Oh wow, this explains a lot.
Yeah.
So from Pro Wrestling Torch, they're saying that Dean Ambrose is, quote, given his notice to WWE that he'll be finishing up when his current contract expires at the end of April. And they have three sources apparently, and that he broke the news to WWE, including Vince. Over the weekend, I think, after being offered a new contract and a raise weeks ago. The Torch says, quote, he's expected to finish up shortly after Mania, though it's possible WWE would write him out of storyline sooner. Quote, sources tell PW Torch that Ambrose has long been frustrated with the creative direction of his character and reached a breaking point recently. He's indicated WWE management this weekend he's not interested in negotiating further and made it clear this isn't about trying to get more money. One of his colleagues on the roster, when asked tonight about Dean's demeanor lately and if there are any signs of discontent, said, quote, he's pretty much impossible to read. Seems like he kind of just keeps to himself.
Yeah.
And then I guess the source added that Dean, quote, hates hokey stuff, though he used a word that's synonymous with poop to say stuff instead of stuff.
We're 2 minutes in.
We
can say shit.
Hokey shit.
Hokey shit.
And it's saying that, since his character has been, if anything, it's been hokey.
Yeah.
Not surprised that he's not happy.
Let me ask you this. Now, Dean has been incredibly over in the past. I mean, they have used him when he was in the Shield.
Yeah.
He was probably the most over guy there, because he was the main mic guy and everybody likes the crazy guy. And he came into the WWE with a really good reputation as, it's crazy CZW guy.
Yeah, but also
he could have been the next Stone Cold.
Early days of the Shield, they had an edge to him.
Yeah, true.
And even when they turned face, still kind of had an edge to him. It wasn't until they all split up.
Sort of chipped away, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That he was this, hey, I'm crazy, quirky guy.
It's been years. It's been years. It's crazy what happened.
And even with the heel turn, they haven't been able to shake it.
No, it's so bizarre, because it seems like it'd be a fairly easy thing to do.
Yeah, which makes me wonder how much of the blame is on creative and how much is on Dean just kind of thinking, well, this is what they're going to do with me, so.
I don't know. I
mean, it's hard for me not to go back to the Stone Cold podcast where they were calling, like, whether it was Vince or someone in Stone Cold's ear, calling him out for being, this kind of content.
Yeah.
And not pushing himself. Now, whether his unhappiness with creative fed into that,
like maybe even just fed into it itself.
Yeah, it was a cyclical thing, and maybe even 2.5, 3 years ago, he's like, well, contract's up, ride it out.
So he comes back from injury, jacked, new haircut, new sort of thing, and
several new jackets.
They have the opportunity to sort of hit the refresh button on him. They move ahead with his heel turn the night that Roman Reigns says that he's fighting leukemia and he has to leave, which I think we both thought was a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm sorry, man. I actually texted you this night when Dean came down during that opening segment. I personally thought Raw was actually really good last night.
It was a fun show, yeah.
It felt, I texted you this as well. I said, the show actually felt marquee again. Like it really, once you're like putting, we'll talk about it in a second. When Dean came down and he started giving yet more different motivation for why he's anti-Seth Rollins. Now he's a suck-up. That's the problem with him. He's a suck-up. It's what is his motivation for the week? I find it very difficult to believe. It begins, and so much of it is creative.
Oh, it is.
It's so much of it is creative. He looked downright. Now, I'm not sure how much of it is when he did the thing about Roman having to pay the price now or whatever.
Yeah.
He obviously seemed uncomfortable. They dropped that really quick.
Yeah.
I wonder at this point, now that it's been a couple of years, if he was just fine with, okay, what are they going to give me? It's useless fighting against creative. It's useless fighting against Vince. It's useless doing that. And that's why he just sort of went along with it. And he was just checked out. And he was like, this is not. And then AEW pops up. And it's like, okay, well, now there are options out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's going to AEW. But there are options now. It's not just New Japan. It's not he can't. It's not just Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. Go back to CZW or something like that.
That's not happening.
That's not going to happen. According to Forbes, he made a 2 the last salary, Dean Ambrose salary.
He's made a handsome amount of money the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's in the top 10.
Yeah. So money, I would guess, is not really an issue for him.
No, I wouldn't think it is.
Yeah. There's this weird dichotomy going on where it seems like creative or Vince is very set in a particular creative path. And, we heard even about Chris Jericho, him having difficulties executing the vision he saw during his last run. Mm-hmm. And that's Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
There was a lot of compromises he had to make to get even a little bit of what he got. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, you hear Vince, again, on the Stone Cold podcast, talking about wrestlers grabbing that brass ring. Mm-hmm. And you think if a wrestler was unhappy with their creative direction, going up to Vince and saying, Vince, I have all these ideas, so on and so forth. Can we give this a try? Mm-hmm. I would like to think that he would be impressed by a wrestler taking the initiative.
Yeah.
Especially a situation, given the circumstances of Dean's heel turn. I mean, he was like the most hated guy in that arena that night.
Yeah.
There was a lot of heat they could have capitalized and fizzled quickly.
Very quickly. I'm going to speculate on the whole brass ring thing, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. The brass ring thing has to be, I really like this wrestler. I really want to see some initiative from this wrestler. And when that wrestler, Becky Lynch, for example, I'm sure Vince really likes Becky Lynch even before she grabbed the brass ring.
Yeah.
They give her something to chew on. She just bites the crap out of it. She does great, right?
Yeah.
If Dean Ambrose never came off to me like a Triple H guy or a Vince guy.
No.
He never. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor are the two most Triple H guys
possible. Yeah.
And I think Seth is probably also very much a Vince guy.
Yeah.
I think that's why he is where he is right now. But Dean Ambrose never came off as one of those guys.
No.
And so I think that grabbing the brass ring, if you're not already a guy that they're now, I think they can probably turn Jinder comes back looking like what he did. I think you can turn into a Vince or Triple H guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vince more than anything is impressed with work ethic.
Yeah,
because he doesn't sleep.
But he
works all the time.
You're right. I think that helps. But I think he just has his guy. We have the people that we like when we see him. Just inherently, what does
Oh, obviously, yeah.
This is Vince is the end all be all in terms of decision making.
Yeah.
So whatever tickles his fancy, in the early aughts, it was all guys that looked like Heidenreich.
Yeah.
We know what it was in the 80s and the 90s. Now it's all Becky Lynch. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So where is he going to go? New Japan?
Impact.
Wow. Ooh. Does he really like hunting? Is he a hunting guy?
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, if he wants to do
Would that be
edgier stuff,
appealing?
that's
Hey.
what Don Callis was promising.
Listen, would he?
Maybe they'll give him a desert survivalist show.
Yeah. Well,
Because
he
that
was
workout,
training in the desert.
yeah,
That's
workout
right.
video in the desert. He lives in the Vegas area. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Would that be appealing to people? Like if you're leaving WWE, well, Impact's on the Pursuit channel. Can Pursuit hook me up with a hunting show?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, I guess that's analogous to Kenny
Right.
being offered a gaming
thing,
thing.
yeah.
With WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, Dean, he's got a lot of potential, I think, in terms of interesting character stuff. Granted, we really haven't seen any of that in WWE, which is kind of a huge missed opportunity. But in terms of the pure wrestling aspect, he's not up to par with a lot of the guys in AEW. I mean, he's a competent wrestler, but he's not a great wrestler. He could put on fun matches, but I don't think he could carry anybody to a great match.
He's a Cody level wrestler.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think.
But I just thought of Impact, just because.
Oh, you weren't joking about that.
I'm half joking about it.
Okay.
Because he wants to do edgier stuff. That's what Don Callis has promised.
What, half a lap dance?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I'm not. Yeah.
And he might be afforded. Well, AEW gave him a lot of freedom, but whether it's AEW or Impact, he'll be afforded a lot of freedom to do probably a lot more interesting character stuff.
I think
the return of John Moxley.
I think AEW would be honestly perfect for him because the John Moxley character obviously is, what we got in WWE was by necessity what their product is, a PG version of something that was very dangerous and very edgy. From the promos I've seen, from the death matches I've seen, I didn't follow him while he was doing that and everything, but I've seen some of his pre-WWE work. I think so. I'm not suggesting they would bring him in to compete with a Pac in terms of what he can do in the ring. But if you bring him in as a guy who can, I'm not going to say mentor, but almost mentor, I guess. They've got Joey Janela in there.
He should arrive as Joey Janela's long-lost dad.
Yeah,
that should be his character.
Right, yeah.
That's his character.
Yeah, so if you have that element, which appeals, number one, name value is the biggest name there, basically.
Jamie Weisner here in chat said Dean should join OVE.
Stop saying Impact.
He's from Ohio, too.
How was his turn? I'm now not Impact, and you are Impact. That's weird. He's the biggest name there. Just in terms of he's, former WWE champion. We all know that. And then he just brings, especially if he reverted back to sort of, add a bit more rated R to him. I think that just adds a different dimension to All Elite Wrestling that I think they could very much use. I don't think All Elite needs to be the place where, you have to be a 5-star match machine to go. If you can add something to the product, which I think he can if he's not bound by WWE's creative. I'm actually fascinated. Given that Cody Rhodes has said AEW's not bringing in any writers, they're going to let wrestlers be wrestlers, and they're going to let the promo guys. He's a top-notch promo guy if he's not bound by WWE's creative.
Yeah. We should know how much of his promos were scripted versus him coming up with stuff.
I would imagine he was a lot of, I'll put it this way. I think he was probably a big part of what was actually literally said, the words.
Yeah.
But all of the intention and story behind him.
Oh, the character direction. No.
None of his stories have ever really been compelling.
No.
So, there you go. Dean Ambrose looking for a way out. And apparently he's found it. So, that's interesting stuff. Now we have to talk about Raw.
Yeah, it was good Raw. It's fun Raw.
Yeah, let's do these Patreon shout-outs first. Yeah. Because we are on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of award tiers there. It's coming down to the wire. It is the 29th of January.
Left.
If you want your Going In Raw care package, look at it. You get a comic book, stickers.
Oh, there it is.
Look at the Fun Wrestling and Steve W's back. You get that double-sided poster. Who will you choose?
There's one
Top
obvious
notch.
choice. One obvious choice.
Well, and Mecha Santa, like I was about to say.
No, not Mecha Santa.
And then the postcard. It's all got the OG logo stuff on it because...
Legacy.
Legacy. We're too paralyzed to...
we can't change the logo and all that stuff, and then the people who got that stuff will need new stuff.
They're going to want it. Then we got to do new stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, that's at the $20 mark. It's a great bargain right there. Then you also get to have your video questions on Matt Chat if you choose to do so. Anyways, at the $1 mark, though, you get the show ad-free. You get to import your RSS feed ad-free into whatever podcast app you use. Not Spotify, sadly. But we got some new patrons here. I'll go ahead and give them some shout-outs.
Yes, please.
Let's see here. Excuse me. Philip Coleman, Will Tomo. Let's see here. Oh, familiar name, J.S. Wooten.
Oh.
And Joven.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
very much.
Support. It really does go a long way here going in Raw.
It does. So, you want to get to Raw? Show kicks off. Seth Rollins come down the ring, dropping a promo. He actually got legit emotional because at first he says, I promised myself I wouldn't come down here and point at the WrestleMania sign if I won the Rumble.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Cody Miles here in Discord mentioned, he said, at this point, I'm convinced the 14th spot is cursed.
Oh,
Dean was number 14.
He was.
That's funny.
He says, I promised myself I wasn't going to point at the sign, but hey, I just won the Rumble. I got to do this at least once. So he points to the sign, And he talks about that's how there's kids who grow up and they dream of winning the Super Bowl or being an astronaut. And he said all he dreamed about was winning the Rumble and main eventing WrestleMania. And he got legit emotional about it, which was great.
This was a very effective.
Oh yeah.
Opening segment. It really was. I thought, just getting back to sort of the overview of it. I thought there were a couple things that were very, very, very well done last night.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, the show actually felt like the A show. I think that
Well, it helps when you have the two top Mania matches on that brand.
Sometimes it's just intangible. It's when Baron Corbin opens your show a lot, and that's what you think is your A story.
You make it feel like it's the C show at that point.
Right, exactly. But they had Seth Rollins, who should be the A guy. Why didn't they just run with him?
I've been saying that for a long time. Imagine,
right?
imagine if they'd had Roman turn heel instead of Seth.
Yeah, they could have had their cake and eaten it too.
I really would have shocked everybody.
Because dude, everybody loves Seth. Everybody has always loved Seth. It's crazy.
And so, he gathers himself and he says, well, I really got a difficult decision, maybe the most difficult decision in my life. Do I take on SmackDown champ Daniel Bryan, who I've been friends with for years, or do I take on Brock Lesnar? Mm-hmm. And he seemed like he's about to say something more. Triple H comes in the ring. He's greeted with an NXT chant, and he starts talking about Seth, how they've had their ups and downs. And then Triple H starts getting a little emotional.
He starts getting teary.
He has to turn away and says, gosh darn it, Seth, you got me all emotional here. And he goes on to say how proud he is.
Well, we're just start babbling like two little kids out here.
Yeah. How proud he is of Seth for accomplishing all that he has.
Yeah.
Seems like a shoot.
Dude, I know Triple H has three young kids. Are they all little girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. If he had like a 25-year-old, 30-year-old daughter, 32-year-old, well, they don't have to be the same age exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, like between 25 and 35.
Oh, all right.
He would probably try to, I want you to be my son, if not by blood, by name. What?
Working the math out here. I think Triple H is like 48.
25-year-old, yeah, he would have been.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Even a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you can get down to what's 48 minus 12. You can pretty much start having kids at that point. Oh, dear. Like you shouldn't.
No. Triple H.
Biologically speaking, it's possible.
Triple H said he's proud of Seth for reaching his dream, but gives him till the end of the night to make his decision. He says that both Brock and Daniel Bryan are going to be at Raw in the building. And then the crowd starts chanting, "Slay the Beast."
Yeah.
Slay the Beast.
Yeah. Ooh, that was
good crowd last night, too.
Oh, it was a...
It was basically like a Raw after Mania crowd.
It was a great crowd. They were really, really into it. I was very proud of crowd.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose comes down, interrupts everything, calls Dean a kiss ass, calls Triple H Chuckles.
What do you say, Chuckles? The crowd actually liked that line.
And then he says, make the match. I want Seth tonight. And then Triple H just walks out, or starts to walk out.
He starts to, and then Dean sort of meets him halfway out the ropes and says, "What's going on? You got to go back there and ask your father-in-law." And then the crowd started chanting, "Yes, he does. Yes, he does."
Yeah.
And then Triple H says, "Get me a ref."
So the match happened.
And so I started texting you. Or you started, I forget.
No, you texted me. You said, Dean took the air out of the whole building we shut up. And I said, oh, just wait till he sells the suicide dive. And it's the second one.
And there was the first one, and I was like, oh, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I don't know what else he could do. And then in the second one, when he does a suicide dive up the ramp, basically, Dean just sort of jogs back a couple steps and then does like a perfect
backward roll. A perfect backward roll. Yeah, at no point do I get any sense that he was actually hurt by any of it.
No.
And then they're back in the ring, and he, in the most obvious way, gets in position for the frog splash. And, the sell of the stomp was cartoonish.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually like when he does the cartoonish sell for the stomp. I think that stuff is funny. I mean, it's probably not supposed to be funny, but I still appreciate it.
All right.
He goes overboard with it.
Yeah, he does. So anyway, Seth wins with stomp. Seemingly done with Dean, and Dean seemingly done with WWE. So we cut the commercial and we come back, and Dean's sitting in a chair in the middle of the ring, and he's giving the crowd a little guff because he's like, I'm here trying to pour my heart out to you people.
Oh yeah, I'm curious. Were there any live reports as to what he was saying during commercial, or do they just dim the lights and then go to some cheesy
probably
WWE promos on the screen?
He's interrupted by Nia Jax and Tamina.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a stare down the middle of the ring.
And then as he's like, she's giving him guff. He's giving her guff. And then as he leaves, she freaking gives him an elbow.
Wasn't sure if he was trying to leave or if, because Tamina was circling around. I thought he was just kind of following her.
Okay.
And then she delivers elbow and knocks him out.
All right. Maybe
that's
you're
how
right
I
about
took
that.
it.
All right.
So next we have a tag team match. Winner.
Well, hold on a second. We got to talk about that for a second. That's not his Mania match, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Are they going to go straight to... Hey, I really like this Nia Jax. There's two things that could be utterly ridiculous about this. Number one, is this some sort of odd foreshadowing for Nia Jax to induct Chyna to the Hall of Fame?
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Like other people have speculated that.
Yeah. I just, because somebody noted that on when she was in the Rumble, somebody mentioned Chyna in our super chats or in our chat or something. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when they had her do it last night, I'm like, Nia that totally makes sense for her to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know, and you see her and Dean staring. That's a fascinating Mania match up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not going to happen because there's no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, I don't know if they do it either.
That's a big. Just a year ago, Triple H said that.
Not even that long ago. Just a matter of months ago. He said, "What?"
No, I wasn't just months ago.
No, recently in an interview, he said, "No, people don't really want to see intergender wrestling."
Really?
Yeah, wasn't that long ago.
Oh, okay. Last time I heard of it was a year ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Time flies, man. Sometimes.
Well, he did say it a year or so ago.
Sometimes
and then
when I think it's been
again.
a couple months, I'm like, really? That was 2017? Holy crap.
Yeah. Time is a flat circle, Steve.
So is the Earth.
No. So we had a tag match, Nia and Tamina versus Alexa and Mickie James. Winner gets a spot in the Elimination Chamber match to determine first women's tag champions. They brought those belts out ringside. They look great.
Yeah, man, those are great.
Before the match start, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James had a promo, picture-in-picture type deal. They had pretty good chemistry.
Yeah,
at the end, they just started laughing, and it seemed
Alexa
very
Bliss
organic.
Alexa Bliss actually seemed like she legitimately was laughing.
Yeah,
I know it was actually
actually really good.
Yeah.
Nia and Tamina pick up the win. Nia pins Mickie after a Samoan drop to both Alexa and Mickie James.
Yeah, that was an interesting little bit. She had Mickie already up, and then Alexa Bliss was going to go up to the top to execute an offensive maneuver. And she started to think twice about it. And then as
Nia
she
just grabs her, I know.
I just grabbed her. I thought it was a really cool little bit.
Oh, it was.
I've actually been a fan of like the Rumble and then last night's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Nia Jax, they've been doing some pretty cool stuff with her. I've actually kind of appreciated it.
Mm-hmm. So they qualify for the tag title match at Elimination Chamber. Next, Kurt Angle interview.
This is weird.
Recapping what, honestly, a pitiful last half of 2018 he had.
Yeah, and then they, on top of that, they awkwardly shoved B-roll because he would have to pause. It's one thing if they had him talking
over the B-roll
throughout, but he paused.
It's
for
almost
the
like
B-roll?
he should have done this. He said a line and done this for a flashback.
He looks up and you see a little thought bubble flashback, a little
just have the
a feathered
with the the new video, the B-roll, some blurry vignette around it.
Yeah,
that would work. Anyways,
sepia tone.
Didn't have to be
film
sepia tone, but just something to indicate that we're seeing a flashback.
Listen, man, old timey is the way to go. So yeah,
this happened 4 months ago, not in 1892.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Curt had a match against Baron Corbin, so they're kind of recapping. Baron, him given when he was assistant GM or whatever, him forcing Curt Angle out essentially, and then Curt's match against Drew, where Curt actually just totally got stomped. So match happens. Baron comes out, drops a promo. And
man, I used to remember when you would do things like break ankles when somebody would make you mad.
You won Olympic medal with broken neck.
You with your freaking broken neck freaking.
So the match happens. Angle looked like he was in better shape than the Drew match. In the end, though, he didn't even lose to a finisher. Corbin took an Angle slam. He escaped the ankle lock, and then beats him with a deep six. Not even his finisher.
Listen, man, I think they should transition that finish to the deeps. Both of his finisher and his signature, they're both really fun looking moves.
Yeah, I know.
They are, and when people sell them right, they look fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
that deep
like
six
fun.
looks like $1 million.
Yeah, you get spun around a few times.
I'm not angry about that, man. I think that's great.
No. Baron leaves, comes back to the ring, hits him with the end of days. You think they're going to do a thing where Kurt Angle loses a bunch up to Mania, and then he's like, well, if I can't prove my bona fides at Mania, I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
Has a match with somebody and wins.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or retires.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin might retire him.
Now Baron's going to take on Braun at Mania.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Finn's picking up that IC title.
Yeah,
Mania.
definitely.
You like how we've booked all this?
I know.
It's kind of obvious. There's like 2 pay-per-views between now and Mania.
Mania's going to be all fan service.
You're probably right.
Seth wins.
Generally,
Becky
is.
wins.
Yeah.
Finn wins.
Yeah.
Who else do we like?
Okay, who wins between Baron and Braun?
Mustafa Ali gets that WWE title.
Oh, he's going to pick up that U.S. title, though.
Probably.
He'll probably pick up that U.S. title. Oh, my God. Are there going to be any heels going over? Roman will probably come out and congratulate Seth.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Undertaker. Who's going to Undertaker in a fight?
Apparently, he's not slated for anything.
Oh, what about John Cena? Oh, Cena and
Drew.
Oh,
should
that'll
win
be
that. Drew
the
should
heel win.
Drew should win.
That'll be a big heel win right there. Hideo Itami might pick up that cruiserweight title.
Could be. He should.
Unless they go back to Cedric Murphy.
U.S. title. Almost should pick that up.
Murphy. No, I said Mustafa Ali picks up that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Oops. Tag titles. I don't know. There's probably some heels that can pick up the tag titles. Maybe Thebar gets it back at Mania or something. Anyway, speaking of Finn Balor, we get a shot of him kind of limping around backstage, making his way towards the ring, greeted by various superstars.
Yeah, they were showing their love. Hey, good job. You survived Brock Lesnar, but he was obviously hurting. So he comes to the ring. He drops a promo.
Confirms, yes, hurting.
Well, yeah. He's in there with a giant bear person.
Yeah.
You know. And
he said he made Brock Lesnar believe, and that's why he beat him up after the match.
It was a moral victory.
Yes.
Something the Sacramento Kings fans
know all too well.
all too well.
He's interrupted by Bob Lashley and Leo Rush. They start talking trash. And then Finn says, well, I lasted longer against Lesnar than you did in the Royal Rumble. Ooh.
What were you in there, like 18 seconds?
12. It's 12 seconds.
Were you in there like 12 seconds?
Lashley takes offense to this, attacks Finn, drops him with 3 spine busters. Finn's totally win the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
Totally.
Oh, it's going to be great, too. He's going to bring so much prestige to that title.
Oh, yeah.
After that, we had the Revival versus Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins, the Edgehead. We got a really cool little video package.
Yeah, that was neat. The Major Brothers.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. So that was really neat. 10 years ago, they won those tag titles. 2008.
Yeah, might as well be 1988. In terms of taking them seriously as a tag team, I mean, now.
This is totally gonna. Oh man, I don't know. I like these guys.
I like them too.
Why do I like these guys so much?
Because they're charming.
Curt Hawkins, they are charming. I've always liked Curt Hawkins, man. I thought that he got saddled with that weird fax gimmick when he came back.
Terrible.
But man, that dude, he's got a great look. He's got so much charisma.
Yeah, he's good in the ring.
And whenever they bring up the losing thing, he's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
he's so good.
And like they were going to book him to win a match, and he said no, keep the losing streak going.
So are the Revival going to eat this pin for Curt Hawkins? They are, huh?
Yep. What a way to convince him to stay, Vince.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think it's that bad of an idea. I don't know. I don't know what they want. They seem more interested in other people.
No, they seem just as interested in other people as their own success, and that's cool.
This is the reports that we've heard.
Yeah,
they're upset that the tag team champions Rude and Gable were not on that particular Raw.
Again, they weren't on this Raw either.
Where they were upset about that. And then they're in this thing with Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins.
That's going to lead to Curt Hawkins pinning a member of the Revival.
I don't think that's a big moment though.
It's
a Mania moment. That's going to happen at Mania.
Could.
Probably will. You just said it. Fan service. Curt Hawkins has a WrestleMania moment.
Imagine they put those belts on the Revival just to have Curt Hawkins pin somebody to earn a title.
You have to admit, that's one of the biggest stories in like wrestling history. This guy's lost how many in a row? He's about to pick up a tag title.
By the time Mania rolls around, it might be close to 300.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a story. The tag division.
Man, you're a bummer. I think this is great. This is awesome.
Next, we had Revival won. Dash Wilder pinned Curt Hawkins after Shatter Machine. A pretty short match.
Give us an Alvarez for that one.
Oh, it didn't suck.
No, your general disposition over this entire endeavor with the Revival.
Oh, this whole storyline sucks. Doesn't suck, but if I go to the Revival and say, I don't think the tag division is getting the spotlight it deserves, and this is what happens, I don't know. I don't know if I'm exactly satisfied with it, whether I'm taking the pin or not. Because again, the tag champions weren't even on the show last night.
Look, man.
They got 5 minutes of screen time.
These wrestlers are not going to be holding Vince McMahon hostage.
Oh, I know.
It's like, hey, we're not interested in coming back a year from now when our contract's up unless we see some improvement in the tag division. Okay, I'll take your but
sure, Dash.
If they immediately put him in some amazing freaking thing with, whoever, with Rude and Gable and won him the tag championships 3 months down the line, like you've said, 3 months down the line.
Who's to say that's not going to revert back to how it was?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Hopefully they're being kept in the loop. Hopefully they're happy in this. If they're not, they go to AEW. Who cares?
Yeah.
The WWE don't care.
No, they don't care. Next, we had a Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan interview where he's talking about how,
This was weird seeing him on Raw. And then
weird.
He didn't come out at all.
He had a shiner.
Yeah.
He's talking about Seth with his catchphrase of "burn it down," advocating for wanton destruction
and pollution. Yeah,
that was a good line.
Wanton destruction. That's a good one. Yeah, it was just weird. They were backstage and they didn't bring him out or anything. I guess they they said they were going to be there.
Yeah,
they showed him.
SmackDown's in the same arena tomorrow or today, so they're going to be in town. Next, we had an Elias promo. Apparently, he's a heel again.
Yeah, that's good. I was so bored with him as a face.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
At the very first, it was weird. I don't know if it was just the Roman domino effect or what, but it was like, oh, okay, cool, right on. But he's so much more entertaining as a heel, as many wrestlers are.
Yeah. His rationale was the whole time he was testing the audience to see if they would give him the spotlight and show the appreciation that he thought he deserves. He said every time he comes out, the crowd should stand up and cheer, standing ovation.
The funny thing is that crowd was so hot for him.
I know.
And so, he really had zero justification for any of that.
I know, but he just said at the end of it, but it's too late now.
Yeah.
It's too late. The opportunity is gone.
And then Double J comes out, man. Double freaking J comes out.
And he says slap nuts.
And apparently there's a report. I saw this on Pro Wrestling Sheet. I don't know if somebody had it before them.
Yeah. It's been reported by several outlets, yeah.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Shane Helms, the Hurricane, are going to be working
backstage, producers.
Backstage, but then Ryan Satin, Pro Wrestling Sheet, also followed up and said Jeff Jarrett might have a longer on-screen role.
Well, I think he's going to have a Mania match against Elias.
I was thinking maybe an authority figure. Well, no, they already have the authority figure thing. Yeah.
It's going to be a Mania match against Elias.
What if he becomes Elias's manager or something? I don't know. I want to see more Jeff Jarrett. He's more over now
than he's ever been in his entire life.
Man. How great is that?
And they did the right thing, having to come out, and the first thing he says is, "Listen up, slap nuts."
Yeah.
That's what people wanted to hear.
Crowd pop, too.
They want to hear, "Ain't I great?" They want to hear slap nuts.
Oh, man. Hey, why is it that when he was back with Impact, we were like, oh, dude, he's going to show up immediately because he would have been making himself the center of attention.
Yeah.
You can't do that in WWE. He's
also because he was also the chief creative officer, so he had the authority to make himself the center of attention. He's just another character in this larger play.
Cog in the machine, man.
Vince is orchestrating. Vince has final say.
Yep.
So he comes out. He talks a little trash to Elias. Oh, you didn't know? Road Dogg comes out. Tells Elias to suck it.
He's got the man shirt on, too. He's got the Becky Lynch shirt on.
Yeah, he's a huge Becky Lynch fan.
Well, yeah.
Everybody is.
Everybody, but also because he's a head guy on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So.
Then they start singing a song, Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg. And then Road Dogg goes up to Renee and puts the mic in her face, and she doesn't know the words at the moment. And Corey Graves is pointing at her and laughing, saying, "You don't know the words." And then she did later on.
That was pretty funny. I'm looking
But just the
forward
look on Corey Graves' face was hilarious.
Oh, we got to talk about that real quick. Renee Young.
I don't know if she'll leave right when Dean leaves, but I wouldn't be surprised if she eventually left. It's sort of like when Cody left and Brandy stuck around for a couple more weeks and then they let her, or AJ and CM Punk, I think it's a similar situation.
I would be very surprised if she left. Very surprised. Number one, somebody mentioned this on Twitter, they're probably going to, even if she stays with WWE, they'll probably see each other. Well, no, actually, that's not true. She is in a fantastic spot, right? It's not like Brandy, she was a ring announcer, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like that. It's not like AJ Lee, even, who was a prominent wrestler. Renee Young is the voice of Raw, 1/3 of the voice of Raw, the premier show every week.
She could be the voice of All Elite Wrestling, though, too.
I mean, again, like
and
you
not
said,
have Vince in her ear or have Vince in Corey's ear to give her crap every 5 minutes about what she doesn't know about her husband. Granted, that's not going to happen after Dean leaves, but
like you said, it all depends on what people want.
Exactly.
But man, I'd be surprised. I would be surprised if she left.
So Double J and Road Dogg are singing ringside. Elias breaks his guitar over Road Dogg's back. Mm-hmm. Gets in the ring. Double J meets him. They start brawling. First, Elias has the upper hand, but Double J turns the tables. However, Elias gets Double J's guitar, breaks over his back 2 nights in a row. Jeff Jarrett's had a guitar broken over his back.
Yeah. You don't actually think this is going to be a Double J Elias match at Mania?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, has there been any reports about that?
No, I mean,
okay.
I'm just reading the math, man.
Double J is like super old, man.
Okay.
You think he's going to have a match against Elias?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, 100%. 100% is happening.
You're crazy.
If it doesn't happen at Mania, it's going to happen at some point in between. But it's going to happen at Mania.
Well, yeah, that's a big difference, though. That's a big difference.
Some sort of guitar and a pole match. You just wait.
Man. I'm going to have to wear my Slapnut shirt for Mania if that's the case. Mm-hmm. I don't see it happening, though.
Oh, totally happening. Next, we had a brief segment backstage between Natalya and Dana Brooke. Ember Moon was supposed to be Natalya's partner last night for this tag match against the Riot Squad. However, it was revealed that she suffered some sort of elbow injury and has to have surgery right away. She's going to be out for several months, I think. It's a bummer.
That is a drag. I like this little bit with Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke really does need to practice like in a mirror or something a little bit more because like her line.
Well, she can get.
Not
Maybe she should talk to Mojo about that then.
Oh, I can't. We're about to do 15 minutes on Mojo, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, she says, you know what? I'm better than Ember Moon, and I'm better than you.
And Natalya's like, okay, that's rude.
Like,
and then Dana's like, all right, let's go.
She's like, come on, partner, let's go.
Let's go have our match now. Way to build some teamwork building exercises right there.
I'm better than you.
Next, Mojo promo.
This was great. So the camera's on Mojo, and he's like, it's all dark. King Ross on Twitter was saying it looks like he was on the pot. He was on the potty. So he's sitting there, and he's like, they don't know who I am.
And it's all your fault.
And it's all your fault. I am the perfect combination of athleticism, intensity, and something else. Strength. They're going to find out soon.
But if it wasn't for you, they would have known that already.
Yeah.
And the camera kind of slowly pans around and zooms in, and he's just talking to himself. He's looking in the mirror.
He's looking in the mirror. Nobody to blame but Mojo Rising.
Yeah.
Man, intense Mojo.
It was a good promo.
That's good. No, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great.
I like Mojo.
I think he's been practicing this for like 6 months.
That same setup probably, too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is probably just like a bit of a shoot here. Like, I think this is probably deep inside what he feels.
But I don't know if we're going to get anything different than what we saw with heel Mojo before.
He won't run as much. Didn't he run to the ring as still as a heel?
Mm-hmm.
None of that.
They have to give him new music and a new Titantron. It was all the old stuff.
God, they didn't do that before? He had the same music?
Same Tron, too.
Did his music ever have like an intro with him saying, be hype or say hype?
Oh, I think in like the Hype Bro days, yeah.
Yeah, but did they at least ditch that?
Yeah, they got rid of that.
Oh, that's good.
We don't get hype. We stay hype.
So,
Cue music.
Who's his first feud going to be with? Is he going to take on Cena at Mania?
Yeah, there you go.
That's good, man. That's a good idea.
Next, we have the Natalya Dana Brooke versus Riot Squad tag match. Riot Squad representatives Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan were in this match. Mm-hmm. As expected, this quickly put together team of Natalya and Dana Brooke had no chance. At one point, Natalya had Liv in the sharpshooter.
And then
Sarah
Dana,
Logan, yeah.
Dana Brooke, you're having some issues over there.
Oh, I
Dana
had to
Brooke
belch.
Started, she's trying to like get Mickey out of the way, and then Mickey comes back, shoves her into the sharpshooter happening. Sarah, sorry. Shoves her into the sharpshooter that's going down, and that gets broken up. And then Liv Morgan comes in, rolls up Natalya. Mm-hmm. Dana Brooke is very apologetic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. So, yeah.
And then Natalya posted on Twitter, disappointed.
Oh, is that what she did?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Next, Ronda Rousey comes to the ring to try to drop a promo. However, the crowd just pretty much, if they could boo her and chant Becky, her out of the ring,
dude,
it would have happened.
So I watched the West Coast version of this.
Same. But in advance, we heard several people saying that this was just an awkward stumbling of a promo.
So I went into it thinking that it was going to be way worse than it actually was, because it wasn't necessarily her stumbling, which happened. It was the crowd. I was actually kind of surprised. Ronda came out there. She started delivering this promo about dreams or something, which immediately just seemed bad. And the crowd started crapping all over it.
Boos, chance for Becky, yeah.
She was responding to the crowd. I was actually kind of impressed. She was like responding to the crowd. And she said, okay, you guys got me to stutter. Good job. Like, she was just playing off the crowd.
Yeah.
But they were not having any of it.
So I kind of feel like it wasn't... If she was stirred in any respect, it was because you see wrestlers who wrestled for years and years and years when they're faced with a crowd that does that to them. Some of them even don't know how to react to it.
Sure, yeah.
To turn the crowd.
Yeah.
What the crowd is doing to them against the crowd. Like Daniel Bryan did his first real promo after he turned heel when they were wutting him. And he just shut that off immediately.
Yeah.
But there's wrestlers who've been wrestling for 10, 20 years that probably still can't do that.
Yeah.
As effectively as Daniel Bryan did, and you have Ronda, who hasn't even been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
Who, in a purely scripted environment, can handle herself.
Yeah. She wasn't exactly able to turn it back on them.
No.
But she didn't, look, my baseline is, do they pee themselves? No. Okay, you're good then. Because I would have peed the crowd starts booing me like that. They're like, Larson. I'm like.
No, you probably just been like, oh, Larson? Fuck him.
Exactly. PG show.
You'd have found someone in a Larson shirt ringside, ripped it off, and then peed on it right there.
You're right there, exactly. Anyways, so crowd is not letting. So Ronda immediately starts. Go ahead.
She tries to get through it, and the boos are just too much, and so she just stands in the ring and just kind of plays with the microphone.
That was hilarious. Yeah, she's like,
Hugh Bailey. Bailey comes out to the ramp and says,
she said, oh yeah. She started doing that after she tried to pivot because she was like, let's talk about what's next. And then she started talking about.
She said Becky Lynch,
and then the crowd just started getting into her, and she started playing with the mic.
She just playing with the microphone with a smirk on her face. And then out comes Bailey. Bailey says, "You're an open challenge. I want to challenge you. So let's have a match." Match happened, and just the match just seemed a little bit off.
I don't know. Maybe. So. Part of me wonders if that crowd. And maybe all the speculation about her leaving. Maybe it's all just sort of getting to her.
It could be.
Because this match was off.
Yeah.
It was. There were a couple times I texted you this. I was like, there was at least 2 times when I saw Bailey try to sort of non-verbally call a spot. I guess it's what it looked like.
Oh, one time Ronda was in the corner and Bailey did this. Come on.
And then when Ronda didn't, she went like this.
Yeah.
That was the main one, and there was another one.
Another one when she was doing something with her hair and pulled the hair tie out and threw it to the mat.
Yeah. A lot of those
reactions
just seemed actually frustrated. Dude, you're just not into this right now, and I get it, but we have to do something, otherwise we're going to kill each other.
For Bailey, too, this is probably the only opportunity she might get to wrestle Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And it's a big deal for Bailey, exactly.
Yeah.
I got to give Bailey props for rocking the NWO era Macho Man inspired jacket. It said Bailey like Macho Man used to have Madness on his shirt. That was cool. There's a couple cool spots when Bailey hit the Bailey to belly into the barricade on Ronda. That was cool.
Yeah.
She dropped the top rope elbow, followed up with a bank statement. Ronda got to the ropes, and the finish was neat, where they were up on the top rope, and Ronda kind of.
That was a very smooth.
A package type deal off the rope right into the armbar. That was neat.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth.
But yeah, there was a lot of kind of clumsy spots too. After the match, so Bailey taps the armbar. After the match, Ronda helps Bailey up. They shake hands. Bailey's kind of making her way to the ropes. Oh, Becky's music hits. Crowd explodes. She's got a knee brace on, selling the injury she suffered at the Rumble. She makes her way down the ring. Becky talks a bunch of trash to Ronda, calls her Ronnie, and says, "I don't need to any time like Seth Rollins does. I choose you."
Yeah.
And then Ronda's response was pretty good, except that she basically threatened to murder Becky Lynch.
She said, "You and I both know." It was a disproportionate response.
It really was.
It was, "You and I both know that I could physically murder you right here in the middle of this ring
Both
with
my
all of
hands.
my tools, with both my hands."
And I love the whole time Becky's just doing this.
She's just smiling. Exactly. Doesn't seem phased at all.
No.
Ronda's just getting all up in her personal space.
And this Becky seems so satisfied with herself for bringing Ronda to this point.
But Ronda's response, I mean, she didn't like. She just, it was just like
Yeah,
right in
yeah.
her. I thought it was a very good retort. It was about the best thing you could possibly do because Becky is so good.
Yep.
And her initial diatribe, her initial sort of speech was really good.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a very effective segment. I wish there was a little bit of interaction between Becky and Bayley.
Yeah, at least
There was none. There was not even
some
like,
acknowledgement to the other person's
Bayley essentially quantum leaped out of there.
Yeah, she really did. She teleported out.
But man, it really had big fight feel to
It
it.
did.
It had
It
big
did.
fight
This
feel.
better be the main event.
Yeah, I'm firmly anti Charlotte getting this. Now I see it. I see it happening in
Doesn't
front
need
of
to
me.
happen.
I don't need
Doesn't
Charlotte
need to
in it.
happen.
I don't need that.
Doesn't need to happen. Doesn't need to happen at all.
Charlotte Asuka too. That's what makes sense.
Yes.
Now that I say that, they're gonna probably put Charlotte in.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. What do you think? It's like just watching that promo last night.
Doesn't need anybody else in it.
No, I'm not asking for your
Oh.
opinion. I'm saying, do you think, like we know it doesn't need it?
No.
But given what we saw, is there any indication that they might do it?
Not what we saw last night,
No,
but based
it
on what
feels
happened.
very one-on-one.
Yeah, but based on what happened at the Rumble, it could be a situation where, like I said during a Rumble recap, that Charlotte was like, "Oh, Becky, you weren't even supposed to be in this match," so on and so forth.
Might let her fight her way into it.
Maybe they shouldn't though. They should keep it one-on-one because that's the match people really want to see.
Because here's the thing: Becky's now on Raw.
Yeah.
That's her place, and Asuka's gonna need somebody on SmackDown, and it's you got Charlotte there. You got
Yeah.
Charlotte there.
Yeah.
She's there. Utilize her there.
Yeah, and otherwise you're gonna. I think it just strengthens the women's division as a whole to have Asuka take on Charlotte.
Yeah.
And Ronda take on
Absolutely.
Becky. You have
Absolutely.
these two huge marquee women's matches on the main card of Mania, and I think that's just better for everybody. Next, we had a brief little segment backstage between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Braun comes up to Seth and says, "You earned it last night," shakes his hand and tells him to make the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice little moment.
That was Braun passing the torch back to Seth.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Exactly what it was, yep.
I can't be locker room leader.
I know. I can't challenge Brock anymore, so you have to do it.
I don't even like getting here on time. Sometimes I leave early.
God damn, my knees hurt so bad I can hardly move some days.
Have you seen me run? It's cartoonish.
Next, Braun had a match against Drew McIntyre. Drew was working over Braun's knee during this match.
Yeah. I mean, that's a smart move.
Man, Drew's so good.
He is really good.
Drew's the best.
Baron comes down.
Well, first, Braun grabs the ring steps after he incapacitates Drew a little bit. And then, Baron comes down, attacks Braun from behind, grabs a chair, hits him. That was pretty great when Braun punched the chair out of Baron's hands, though.
Yeah, that was cool.
But the heels get the upper hand. Drew lays out Braun with a kick, what they tried to call a Claymore, but really wasn't. And he and Baron hit a double choke slam onto Braun on the ring steps.
Yeah, so
Hopefully this is Drew just facilitating in this one respect, even though they both did the Braun pose afterwards.
well, once Cena's done doing what he's doing, we'll get
Shooting
Drew
his
back
movie,
into it.
yeah. And then Cena can say, "Drew, you hurt me and took away my opportunity to win Rumble.
Yeah.
So I want you at Mania." And Drew should say, "Sure. Claymore,
Sure.
1, 2, 3, match over."
Oh, wow, that quick, huh?
Well, no, not
10 seconds. Ding,
Ideally,
ding, ding.
ideally.
Runs. Claymore.
ideally. Yes.
Claymore 2, Claymore 3.
Yeah, 10 minutes of Claymores. Show closed with the ring announcer saying, once again, Seth Rollins, but instead, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar came to the ring. And Heyman said, "Seth, your choice is obvious. You should challenge Daniel Bryan because you want no piece of Brock Lesnar."
They'll have a nice match.
A nice sports entertainment
Good
match.
sports entertainment grappling match because you don't want to fight with the beast. Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. So Seth comes down to the ring, gets right in Brock's face, and then punches him.
Yeah, that was good.
Goes for a stomp. Brock picks him up, F5. And then 3 more F5s. And then another one on the Universal title.
Yeah, that was like when we book Raw.
And then, yeah, it was. And then Seth kind of pulls himself up on the rope, screams at Brock, "Is that all you got?"
Yeah.
Brock comes back at him, another F5.
And that was all he had because then Seth was like,
I know.
Aye. So yeah, I thought it was a really good show. There wasn't a whole lot in there that I didn't.
Yeah.
There is no, so like the obvious, I should check this every week just to see what they do leave out of Hulu. But obviously the Hawkins.
Yeah, that's gone.
That should play in its entirety on main event, really. That should have just been a main event filming thing. Let's see here. I mean, they had a Kurt Angle match. That was good. They'll probably keep Elias and Double J off Hulu.
Yeah. Mojo, his promo won't be on there.
Given that it's for the tournament, it'd be hard to think that they'd ditch the women's tag matches.
Either the two women's tag matches, I know. So I don't know exactly what they're going to cut out. There's an hour and a half they got cut out, right?
But they might. How long is it? How long is Raw without commercials?
Raw without commercials is 2:15.
2:15.
So that's 45 minutes of show they got cut out.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's do a SmackDown preview.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll go first. What will the fallout of Lynch's WrestleMania challenge? What will be the fallout of Lynch's WrestleMania challenge to Ronda Rousey? The man punched her ticket to WrestleMania in shocking fashion on Sunday night, taking an injured Lana's spot in the Women's Royal Rumble match and going on to win the boot. Becky Lynch set the stage for the show of shows on Raw Monday night, officially challenging Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. However, with 68 days left until WrestleMania, yesterday it was 69. The man may still have unfinished business on the blue brand, including Charlotte Flair, who was none too pleased that Lynch took what she believed was her Royal Rumble match victory.
See, they're setting it up already.
Will anyone plan on making the man's road to WrestleMania a rough one?
Next, Shane McMahon and The Miz to throw the best tag team celebration in the world. They've had less than a handful of matches as a team, but Shane McMahon and The Miz pulled off a huge upset at Royal Rumble, dethroning The-Bar to become SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Though they celebrated plenty with the A-lister's father, George, on Sunday, the party will continue tonight when the champs throw the best tag team celebration in the world.
Whoa,
what do Shane and Mac and The Miz have planned for this shindig?
I know they showed them celebrating, putting the tag titles on George.
I guess that's like a rowdy party.
But, well, no, I was going to ask, did they show footage from the aftermath from a rowdy party afterwards?
Not that I'm aware of.
Ooh, that's what they should have done.
They hit the streets of Scottsdale, downtown Scottsdale.
No, man, they just go back to the hotel and watch local weather reports.
There you go.
Local news. And have some pizza, maybe.
Okay.
Do you guys want some pizza? I was thinking of getting some room service. I don't know. It's too expensive.
Too expensive. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can order a veggie pizza somewhere nearby then.
Yeah, exactly. Veggie? I like meat on mine. All right, Dad.
We'll do half and half. Not if they charge extra.
Not if they charge extra. All dads are cheap bastards. Anyways,
next.
I do Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan vows to change the climate of WWE forever. That's very clever. One of the more shocking developments of WWE Royal Rumble came during the WWE Championship match when the monstrous Rowan and good guy Eric arrived to help the new Daniel Bryan retain his title against AJ Styles, assisted with a post-match attack, then raised the champion's arm in victory. The Titan was with Bryan at Raw last night while he awaited Seth Rollins' WrestleMania decision. Now Bryan is vowing to change the climate of WWE tonight on SmackDown Live. What do the WWE champion and his new ally have planned? Got another match against AJ?
I hope not.
I'll be fine with that.
Who will step up to Asuka? With the man challenging for the Red Brand's title, the Empress of Tomorrow will surely have no shortage of superstars determined to try and knock her off her throne. Will anyone step up to call out Asuka?
Ooh. Can Rusev and Lana bounce back from a crushing Rumble? WWE Royal Rumble turned out to be a very unhappy Rusev day for the Bulgarian Brute and his wife Lana. During the Royal Rumble kickoff, the super athlete inadvertently knocked his wife off the ring apron and to the arena floor, where she injured her ankle. While Rusev was focused on Lana, Shinsuke Nakamura clobbered him with a Kinshasa from behind to regain the United States Championship. The bad tidings continued in the Women's Royal Rumble match as Lana limped down the aisle attempting to enter the match. Unfortunately, the ravishing Russian's injury would prevent her from even making it to the ring. That gave Becky Lynch the opening she needed to enter and win the 30 superstar over-the-top rope battle. A distraught Lana bared her soul in a WWE.com exclusive later that night, leaving the WWE Universe to wonder when things will start looking up for the couple. Will this evening's SmackDown Live be a happier Rusev day for the Bulgarian Brute and Lana? Find out tonight. at 8, 7 Central on USA Network.
Exciting stuff. Should be a fun show.
Exciting stuff.
Let's answer
Should
some
be a
questions,
fun
Steve. Over here on the YouTube, BreakingControllers.com, the D in Dean stands for Dead Inside at this point.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't see this. Inspector Butts here in the Discord says they did sort of make eye contact.
Is that a 4?
They threw up the 4 at each other, yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
D and Dean stands for Dead Inside. That's for BreakingControllers.com. Ricky Scurvy says Dean Ambrose to XPW.
Yeah. There you go. Bring back XPW.
Quiet Wyatt Designs. Would you pair Ambrose with the newly fired up Mojo and Dean? Sounds like a cop movie, but they could work well playing off each other's intensity. No, Dean really has a whole lot of intensity right now.
This is good. Joey Ryan says if Dean Ambrose hates hokey shit, he's not in our Discord. This is from Cody Miles. Posted this tweet.
Yeah.
If Dean Ambrose hates hokey shit, he's gonna love the first indie to book him versus me. That fool's not taking $500 bookings or even $2,000 bookings.
No. Josh Little, should Becky be the first to beat Ronda? Yeah. Yes, and yes. Nor Gangi, Dean versus Triple H, Finn versus Lashley at Mania. Sure. What about Braun? Braun's going to take on Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Which is oddly a big step up for Braun Strowman Mania-wise.
Yeah.
Last year, he won the tag titles with a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Dragon Reborn, he mentions Joey Ryan's tweet about Dean Ambrose hating hokey shit. Steve is undisputed. Will WWE bury Dean till he leaves? No, but he's going to be putting people over.
Do you think they would... Well, it's just now till Mania, but that's not a lot of time.
No.
I was going to say, do you think they'll try to make things better for him? But probably not.
Sammy Garcia, did Ronda's promo feel sort of like a shoot? Maybe the one after the match against Bayley. The one before that seemed very scripted because not that she forgot her lines, but she had trouble getting through it because the crowd was chanting Becky and booing and such.
Yeah, that first one totally was scripted.
Yeah.
The one, is he talking about the one where Becky was up in her face?
Yeah.
The one where she was up in Becky's face, that felt more like natural. Just felt like she was, trying to hype the match.
Mandible Jaws says, Dean is a child. Is he jealous of Seth or what? I mean, Seth, especially recently, has had good creative.
Well, so I don't agree with the first bit. They were calling him a child. He's a man. He knows what he wants and what he doesn't want.
If he's not happy in a particular employment situation, it's his right to leave it.
Yeah. Now, the second part, is he jealous of Seth? I think he might look at. We talked about this during the stream, and I think yesterday, during the recap, when he looks at AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and the matches a guy like Brock Lesnar, seemingly because Brock Lesnar wanted to, put on with those guys, and he's like, what? That's got to feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's got to feel like, man, what am I, an asshole? Come on. Give me a break here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't say he's a child, but look, I'm not sure a dude like that was ever fit for WWE in the first place, I don't know. But then at the same time, God, his creative's never been good. If you gave him good creative, maybe something good would
ever
happen.
since the Shield broke up, it's not been great. Gary Smith, will Nia be the next woman to hold a men's title?
Okay, so she's most likely, but the likelihood of that is very
Pretty
low.
low.
Richard Nason, seeing Lashley go after Balor, is it a sign that that a Balor run with the IC title is going to be happening soon?
Yeah.
Probably a Mania.
Yep. Brandon Garza, Revival versus Ambrose and Kanellis. Winners leave the WWE.
That's funny. You get to choose. Yeah, that's funny. KJ. That's a good question. Always wondered, but in kayfabe, do wrestlers not kick out because they're knocked out or they're just in too much pain? Richard Nason here says they run out of resiliency.
I guess my impression's always been that save for the moves that could obviously KO somebody. Like a super kick could KO somebody.
Super kick, power bomb, they're too out of it to continue.
Yeah, but most other moves, I think it's just the pain level is so high that they can't immediately kick out. And that's why they can't kick out.
Yeah,
and 5 seconds later, they're kind of getting up.
Yeah.
Because, your body is just hit with so much pain that you can't do anything about it.
You're either knocked out or you're incapacitated from pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Little, what is the probability that Seth will beat Brock at Mania? Should the match have a stipulation like Iron Man, cage match, or no DQ?
Unless they do something between now and Mania that completely derails Seth Rollins creatively and the crowd turns on him.
It's like 2% botch that Brock wins.
Which seems completely out of the realm of possibility. It really does. Seth seems he's kind of, I don't know, he can run with anything and people love him. So, yeah, he's totally going to win that match.
Josh Little, who would win in Finn versus Becky best of 5? Becky's like the hottest wrestler in WWE right now, so she'd win best of 5.
Yeah.
Jacinto Gonzalez, Jeff Jarrett, and Shane Helms just got to SmackDown, so it's true. Confirmed by Friendo.
Yeah, man, I know. Lindsay Desitel. This is great because it's from 11 hours ago. I love how Raw kicked off with Rollins and Triple H. Rollins is an amazing babyface and also won me $100 in a Royal Rumble pool last night.
Cool.
When Dean came out, it got a little awkward. Do you think by the end of the year, Rollins would go back to being a heel and work with Ambrose again? No, because at the end of the year, Ambrose is going to be there.
Yep. Scott Ferris, what disenchanted, overexposed WWE guys like Dolph or Dean should AEW avoid signing?
I'm on the fence with Dolph because we've talked about this before. Kind of interested to see what he could do.
Did you notice the
outside
little
of
interaction
WWE?
he had with Almas in the Rumble? It was like Dolph
Oh,
reborn.
yeah, dude, I know. I remember that. Yeah.
They had like a couple really quick exchanges.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, that's a match that, like, I didn't say that because I was saying left and right, but yeah, that's a match I actually wouldn't mind seeing.
Fear and Loathing NYC, if he won't use Moxley, how about Mean Ambrose? Well, probably he can't use Dean or Ambrose in any name on the indies. It's going to be John Moxley unless WWE trademarked that or something.
Ooh, can we kill him off in Steven Larson Brooke Raw?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that.
Clean Ambrose.
Talk about it after we're off air.
What's another, what rhymes with Dean?
Sheen.
Sheen Ambrose?
Shiny.
Shine. Velveteen Ambrose.
Let's see, there you go. Velveteen Dean.
Velveteen Dean.
Trey Awesome. Dean and Renee versus Cody and Brandy. Who agrees?
Nah, man, Renee needs to stay on Raw. There at the bottom. I think it's there at the bottom. CM Punk finds insulting there at the bottom, right? Yeah. No way Jose should have brought the conga line with him to that school. That'd be great, man.
Fear and Loathing. Nikki Cross versus Asuka at Mania. Pre-show or main card? It should be Asuka versus Charlotte. If not, I feel like Nikki Cross is really... It's probably the best option. They've put on good matches before. It'll give Nikki even defeat a good push.
Yeah, I'm just really curious as to how they're going to handle her on Maine. I mean, look, I agree with you. That's the match I want to see given their history. But you know how Maine is.
I know.
They're weird.
Yeah, they are. Trey Awesome. Asuka versus Ember sounds pretty hype. That would be great. However, Ember Moon is hurt. Probably won't be healthy in time for Mania.
This is a good idea.
What?
Jay Sean Lawrence. According to PW Torch, Dean is leaving her after Mania. Where do you guys see him going? There at the bottom says W. Steve W.
Perfect. There you go.
Perfect.
He can soil his undies all he wants.
John Waxley.
Brandon Montemayor. Which New Japan faction could a heel Dean Ambrose join and or lead? Taguchi Japan turns him heel. All about the hokey shit.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. Man. He goes to New Japan instead.
Yeah.
God. Who wants to see those matches?
Tama Tonga asked what he was doing after April, or if he was available after April.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Ambrose Club.
That'd be fun. Oh, I'd be down for that. Those promos would be good. Dropping F-bombs left and right. I know they're not supposed to do that anymore, but he would. Oh, that'd be fun. Just Lucas says, Mojo Fight Club confirmed. Now tell me no one is watching you guys. I had that thought, too.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to himself.
Yeah.
Now that Zack Ryder, that's the thing. Zack Ryder broke off. Wait, who is it? Was it Mojo? Was Zack Ryder's alter ego, right?
Yeah.
So Zack Ryder found himself another partner.
His old alter ego.
So, yeah.
But I guess you could...
Which Curt Hawkins is kind of the personification of Zack Ryder now, the guy who loses all the time.
Yeah, and you can kind of see him as offshoots of Edge. They're like Edge's alter egos.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is getting deep.
It is, man. I'm telling you, this is the best storyline ever told in wrestling. David Prock, looking past WrestleMania. If Becky wins that title, moves to Raw, who should her first feud be?
Nia Jax. Nia Jax can be a first feud.
You're probably right. But, man, there's a lot of great feuds waiting to happen there.
There's Sasha. There's Bayley.
Sasha and Bayley. Yeah.
I feel like Nia's going to be the first one. Kyle Korath, should WWE turn Mania and Royal Rumble into 2-night events? No. It's too much.
I get the feeling that Mania is eventually going to do that. I really
Probably.
do. That would not surprise me at all. Perry Smythe. Due to WWE's nature of hiding information about internal company workings to protect kayfabe, do you think that makes it harder for the WWE to convey information to the public? Yeah, it makes it awkward. He says, for example, McMahon's couldn't outright say that changes will take time to happen because storylines have to finish up, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it is a weird thing. Wrestling is a weird thing.
They disregard kayfabe when it's convenient and hold it tightly when they need to, I guess.
Like the fact that they still, I still think Breaking Ground was a truly groundbreaking show.
It was, but they didn't really go. One thing they didn't kind of expose was putting matches together.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They just dance around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just don't want to see how it's made. I kind of get it, and I kind of think it's antiquated.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Steven Trato. Can I get a birthday shout out from Baron Corbin and The Undertaker?
What's his name?
Steven Trato.
Steven, you're not me. Today not my birthday. It's your birthday. Birthday, have good one.
Your mom had you, but you're not her. Steven, it's a good thing your mom didn't put you down like a dog before you came shooting out of her butthole. Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Let's see here.
Couple
last questions.
Locaine, you think the Bella Twins are going to be in Elimination Chamber?
God, I hope not.
I'd be surprised. There's one more qualifying match next week. Sasha and Bayley versus Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox. Sasha and Bayley are winning that one. They're going to be in Elimination Chamber, so we just need 3 teams from SmackDown, one of which
that'll be fun, though.
It'll be Iconics, it'll be Mandy and Sonya Deville. Who is the third team going to be? They're going to bring up Kairi Sane and Io Shirai.
Oh, I hope so.
They should.
Oh, that'd be so great.
They so should.
Oh, man. I would love to see them.
They really should do
win
that.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
They win the U.S. title. They win the Intercontinental title. Universal.
I still feel like we haven't seen everything that Io Shirai could do.
Oh, we haven't seen.
We've hardly seen anything of what she can do.
We've hardly seen any of it. So just bring her up, and that's it. And then we're good. Anyways, I think that's good for a show today. Let's see if I can. Hilton didn't come in today. We really need to talk to that guy about his work ethic.
Well, he does work another job.
Anyways, that's it for the show.
Yes.
Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Oh, here's the music for you. Patrons, $1 and up. Stay tuned. We've got an overrun for you, a bonus episode. That'll be coming up whenever we...
Like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
We'll do play for you.
Till next time. Talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.